has an easy way of saving. In the 19th century, it doesn't matter where you were in the world. You could have been in the US or Indonesia or Europe or Africa. Wherever you were, you got paid in a gold coin. And then you took that gold coin and you put it under your mattress and you waited 10 years. And you took it out after 10 years and you knew that you could buy the same things that you could buy 10 years ago, usually a little bit more. The gold appreciates a little bit every year. So anybody could save. Anybody could decide, you know what, I'm going to spend the next 10 years working so that I could build my own house. And I'm going to save in gold. And that's it. Like, you just had to take the same money that you got paid with and save with it. Well, then we get to the 20th century and you can't save anymore. Because first of all, your money is no longer gold. Your money is paper that is supposedly backed by gold, but then the backing keeps falling apart every now and then. And so, you know, everybody who's lived through the 20th century has a story in their family of one time somebody got wiped out because they saved money and then the money collapsed in value, or they put the money in the bank and then the bank collapsed, or there was hyperinflation, or there were capital controls, or bank account confiscations. All of these horror stories have been happening all over the world, and the result is that people have lost the ability to save. And I think this is really the most important thing. The point that I make in the Fiat standard, which I believe is an original point, I don't believe anybody has made this, is that our ability to plan for the future and our ability to provide for our future is inextricably linked to how good our money is at maintaining its value into the future. And so all throughout human history, we keep moving toward harder and harder monies because we keep discovering things that are better as money, and then the better they are, the better they hold on to their value. And then people realize that this is the best way to save. And so over time, more and more wealth goes into the harder as money. And at the early 20th century, the whole world was saving in gold. Everybody was holding gold. Gold was the money that everybody was using. And that resulted in really the advancement of human civilization, because humans could save and humans could provide for the future. So humans become much more future oriented. So you start thinking about your life in a way where it's not just about today. So really, this is our progress as humans. You know, we go from being animals that are just thinking about every moment, satisfying our needs. I'm hungry. I just want to satisfy myself now, to curbing our animal instincts and letting our mind control us and letting our mind focus on what matters in the long run. And so we don't just get hungry and go around looking for food. We start farming so that we can have food tomorrow. You know, we work today so that our food will grow and then next year we'll have food. So this is what is called the lowering of our time preference, our ability to think more and more of the future. And I think this is basically, from the Austrian perspective, time preference is, you know, it's the degree to which you discount the future. So the higher your time preference, the more you discount the future. The lower your time preference, the less you discount the future, so the more you think of the future. It can be counterintuitive, lower, higher, but the lower time preference is what means it means that you're prioritizing the future more and more. So I think and from the Austrian perspective, time preference is what determines the interest rates. So the lower our time preference, the more we think of the long term, the more we save, the more capital is available, the lower the interest rate on capital, the lower the cost of capital. So historically, we see that interest rates have been declining historically for thousands and thousands of years. We see interest rates decline and decline and decline. And I mean, obviously they go up and down. There are periods where they go up. When wars and famines happen, they go up. But generally, there's been a trend of them to decline until by the end of the 19th century, the interest rate on Bank of England credit was about 2%, which is the lowest rate that we'd ever arrived at. But then what happens? Fiat money comes along. We can't save for the future. And then our ability to save is destroyed. And so people become more and more present oriented. And I think this is what the 20th century has been. Like it's in many ways, I think this explains a lot of what we see around us. And that's what I try and argue in the book, that we see, you know, you look at architecture in the 19th century, people built houses that were meant to last for a very long time. Today, houses are very disposable almost, you know, 10, 20 years and then you have to tear it apart and make a new one. And you see it in art. You see it in saving rates. People used to save a lot more back then than they do right now. You see it in people's ability to, commit to long-term relationships and families and so on. So everything becomes more short-termist when we lack the ability of saving for the future. So this is what I believe is the most pernicious effect of inflation. Obviously it's theft, but more than just the fact that you rob money from people, you rob people of the ability to provide for their future. It's not just like it's a one-time theft. It's not like, one day some guy walked into my house and took my money. That's not going to really change much compared to the fact that now I realize that I live in a world in which someone is going to take my money all the time, and that there's no way for me to save that money. So therefore I just become present oriented. I focus on the present, and I become, you look at the 20th century, even in the places where they didn't have hyperinflation, you see that the phenomena of hyperinflation are there, but at just a slower rate. Like you read stories about hyperinflation in Weimar Germany, or in Venezuela recently, or in Zimbabwe, or in Lebanon. People are focused on day-to-day survival, and then their ability to plan for the future is completely lost. And low inflation does the same thing, but at a lower rate, I think.